She laughed when she lost the bet, until she found herself living under the same roof as a black single dad with eyes that carried more pain than words ever could. What began as a cruel joke soon unraveled secrets, emotions, and a truth so powerful it would shatter everything she thought she knew about love, loss, and second chances. When Emily lost the bet, she didn't think it would matter. A week living in someone else's house? Easy. She'd done worse things in college dares. But this wasn't college anymore, and the man whose home she had to live in wasn't some stranger from a game. He was Marcus Hayes, a quiet, intimidating black single dad with a stare that seemed to look straight through people. Marcus lived 2 blocks away, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, after his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Everyone in the neighborhood knew his story. A man who worked long hours as a mechanic, kept to himself, and didn't let anyone close. Emily knew him only from passing greetings at the grocery store. She never imagined she'd be sharing his house. The night she arrived, rain poured like the sky itself wanted to warn her. Marcus opened the door, towel over his shoulder, his shirt faintly smudged with oil. His voice was deep but calm. "You really gonna do this?" he asked. "A bet's a bet," Emily replied, trying to sound casual, even though her heart pounded. He sighed. "Guest room's upstairs. My daughter's sleeping. Don't make noise." That was her welcome. No small talk. No smile. Just rules. The first few days were awkward silence. Marcus left early for work, and Emily would find breakfast already made. Toast for her, pancakes for Lily, who'd peek around corners with wide, curious eyes. Lily was sweet, talkative, and endlessly curious about everything Emily did. "You don't look like someone who loses bets," Lily giggled one morning. Emily smiled. "Guess I'm full of surprises." They began to bond quickly. Emily helped Lily with her homework, braided her hair, and even taught her how to bake cookies. Marcus, however, remained distant, polite but cold, until the night the storm hit. It was a Thursday evening. The thunder rolled so loud it rattled the windows. The power flickered and went out, leaving the house in shadows. Emily found Lily huddled under a blanket, trembling. "It's just thunder," Emily whispered. "Nothing to worry about." But the little girl clung to her tightly. Marcus came home minutes later, soaked from the rain. When he saw Emily comforting his daughter, something in his eyes softened, just for a moment. "Thanks," he muttered, handing her a flashlight. "She's been scared of storms since." He stopped himself mid-sentence. Emily didn't need to ask. She knew what he meant. Since her mother died. That night, after Lily fell asleep, Marcus made coffee and sat at the kitchen table. Emily joined him. For the first time, they talked, really talked. "She was in a car accident," he said quietly. "Drunk driver. Lily was in the back seat. She survived. My wife didn't." Emily didn't know what to say. The pain in his voice wasn't just sadness, it was guilt. "She always told me to pick her up that night," he continued. "But I stayed late at work. Said I was too busy. If I'd gone," his voice broke. Emily reached across the table, placing her hand over his. "You can't keep blaming yourself, Marcus. You're doing everything you can for her. That's what matters." He looked up, his dark eyes glistening with something between anger and sorrow. "You don't know me." "Maybe not," she whispered. "But I can see you." From that night, everything began to shift. Marcus started talking more. He'd come home early, help Lily with homework, even laugh occasionally, something Emily had never seen before. The walls around him began to crack, and through them, warmth began to leak out. One evening, Emily came home from her part-time job to find Marcus in the kitchen, trying to bake a cake for Lily's school event. The batter was everywhere. She couldn't help but laugh. "You're supposed to stir, not drown it," she teased. He rolled his eyes. "You want to do it, be my guest." As they worked side by side, the tension turned into something else, something unspoken but palpable. His arm brushed against hers, and for the first time, neither of them pulled away. But just when it seemed like life was softening, fate decided to twist the knife. One evening, a woman showed up at the door, tall, blonde, and dressed in a sharp suit. Emily recognized her instantly. Madison, Marcus's late wife's sister. "I heard there's a new woman staying here," Madison said coldly, her eyes flicking toward Emily. "Didn't take long, did it, Marcus?" Emily froze. Marcus's face hardened again, the walls rebuilding brick by brick. "It's not what you think," he said. "Oh, isn't it?" Madison sneered. You've got your daughter calling her Miss Emily like some replacement. Maybe you've forgotten, but some of us still remember who built this family." Tears stung Emily's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She turned away, grabbed her jacket, and walked out before either could stop her. The days that followed were quiet. Emily avoided the house, staying out late and coming home only to sleep. Lily noticed. "Did I do something wrong?" the little girl asked one night, her voice trembling. Emily shook her head. "No, sweetheart. Grown-ups just make mistakes sometimes." But Marcus couldn't stand the silence any longer. One night, he knocked on her door. "Emily, open up." She hesitated. "Marcus, I don't think, please." When she opened the door, he looked exhausted. "Madison was wrong," he said simply. "You didn't replace anyone. You reminded me what it's like to feel alive again, to care, to hope." Emily swallowed hard. "Then why does it still feel like I don't belong here?" "Because you're scared," he said softly. "And so am I." He stepped closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "But maybe we both deserve a second chance." Weeks passed. The bet ended long ago, but Emily didn't leave. Not officially. She helped Lily prepare for her school recital, the first time the little girl would perform since her mother's death. That night, as Lily stood on stage, Emily held Marcus's hand in the dark. When the girl finished singing, the entire hall erupted in applause. Marcus's eyes glistened as he whispered, "She did it." "She did," Emily replied softly. When they got home, Lily ran upstairs to change. Marcus turned to Emily, emotion thick in his voice. "You've done more for her, for us, than you realize." Emily smiled faintly. "You didn't need me, Marcus. You just needed to believe again." He took a step closer. "Maybe I needed both." Their lips met, not in passion, but in quiet recognition. A promise. A beginning. Months later, Emily sat on the porch with Lily, watching the sunset. Marcus was working on a car in the driveway, humming to himself, something Emily had never thought she'd see. Lily looked up. "Miss Emily?" "Yes, sweetheart." "Do you think Mom would have liked you?" Emily froze, unsure how to respond. But before she could speak, Marcus answered from across the yard. "She would have loved her," he said, "because she made us whole again." And for the first time in years, the Hayes house didn't feel quiet anymore. It felt alive, filled with laughter, healing, and the soft, unspoken truth that sometimes the bets we lose lead us exactly where we're meant to be.